I was about to say all or not according to Jack, but we are not on the all or nada show tonight. This Count Ralfus and I are representing Sea of Tranquility as we talk about album homework assignments. So, for anybody who is not familiar, about 8 days ago, 9/21 to be exact, Pete Pardo and George Lamy explained it when they did the first enactment of album homework assignments when they brought it back. And they could explain to you exactly why they brought it back and what the premise is. But we'll get into a few more specifics later. But first, I'd like to say, how you doing, Count Ralphus? How's everything going?
Pretty good. Pretty good, man. Fucking good to be here. My first like official kind of homework assignment episode. I did do one where we did it on the review crew episode where Jamie made like this wheel and each person had to give the person in front of them an album. So it wasn't like I was getting the album that the person was getting my album. It went around in a circle. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool. So like kind of like a spinning pinwheel, yeah, and wherever it lands or something to that effect,
Yeah,
or
we
was it
didn't like like you knew who was giving you a homework assignment, but you weren't giving them the same back. You were giving the next person, so it just went in a circle. It just made it kind of interesting like that. You just mixed it up a little bit. They didn't usually do it like that when they were doing the original assignment, homework assignment episodes.
right?
But I guess he's bringing it back, and everybody's pairing up to do them. So we said, let's get in on it and get one of these in there.
Oh, so I'm sorry, you were
Yeah,
saying,
so
yeah.
no, just I guess we'll jump right into it now. So you gave to me Symphony X 5, the Mythology Suite,
Awesome.
and it's an album I've never listened to, and it's a band I'm familiar with their name, and I might even have them on like a compilation or something. I mean, they've been around for a long time, and they definitely made a lot of noise, and I know people really like them, but I just never really sat there and like gave it a good, nice listen to. Um, and you were trying to give me a couple different ones, like you trying to get albums, and I said, no, give me something more that I'm really unfamiliar with. So this was like perfect. They got a
Awesome.
bunch of albums out, but you said this was like your favorite one, and
Yes.
it's interesting to see that they're from Middletown, New Jersey, where I'm like grew up in like Middletown, New York area, and they founded in 1994. Considered prog, power, neoclassical, and symphonic metal. So symphonic metal is not something that I usually is in like it's not the style of metal that I collect. I do like a lot of old power metal. The neoclassical, I definitely like some of it. It's always very good musicianship with that kind of stuff, but it's just again, it's not something I really collect. And I like prog in different forms of metal and stuff. But so it starts off with the prelude. I at first I was like, oh man, I hope the whole album doesn't sound like this. Like it kind of threw me off. It was a little bit, shocking for me. And then it goes into evolution, and I can hear the metal, cool riffings right away, and some really cool double bass drumming, and the keyboards are sound good. I'm not like a huge keyboard person, but when it's done right, it's cool. Sick guitar solos, a little bit computery sounding, or I don't know if it's like a weird effect that they're using, but it's cool. It's different than what I'm used to. Um, Not crazy about the vocals yet in the beginning. They little bit like maybe just the second time I listened to this album twice, so the second time through everything sounded better to me. So I have a feeling the more time I would spend with an album like this, the more I would like it. It was definitely some parts were memorable. Um, so then we go to the fall and I like this song right off the bat more than the first one. I like the vocals a little bit more lively. The keyboard remind me of an 80s video games a little bit. Um,
Interesting.
then the transcendence. It's 38 seconds. It's like a segue into Communion of the Oracle. Lots of keyboards on this one. Slow moving. Uh, not as I like the more upbeat kind of version of the songs
That
that they
song
do.
is generally considered a favorite on the album to a lot of people.
Hmm,
Just so you're aware,
hmm,
it's a lot more proggy than it is metal, I would say, but great
hmm.
song.
That's interesting. The next song is one of my favorites on the album. Is the Bird Serpent War Cataclysm. I put
Right.
little stars next to the songs that really stood out to me, but a cool riff right off the start the song. Definitely my favorite song so far on the album. Vocals are a little bit more gritty. Uh, not loving the chorus, but everything else on this song sounds good. All right, number six, on the Breath of Poseidon segue, cool instrumental, starts off a heavy. Eight, Egypt, I like this one, but again, better vocals on, or the weak chorus ruins it for me, but it's better vocals all in all on that one. And
Now,
I like how
Egypt,
this is, go
I
ahead.
was going to say, so Evolution and Egypt are generally the two songs they play the most in concert.
Hmm.
And this album was put out in 2000, but even now they're still playing those two songs.
That's
Yeah,
all. I know it's also considered a concept album, but that's the one thing is I wasn't actually reading lyrics with this because I'm
right.
watching it on YouTube because I don't own it. But I know it's based on the writings of Edgar Casey about Atlantis, the Egyptology, and astrology. So I'm not really hearing like what's going on. I could tell from the song titles that there's some kind of concept, and I like how the intros and segues into the songs. You can tell it's like connecting things, and it's got like a movie kind of feel to it or story kind of feel to it.
Very cinematic,
Um,
yes.
oh yeah, and Egypt is one of the songs I put a star next to. So I think it's just the chorus was the one thing that it threw me off a little bit. But then the Death of Balance, another instrumental, sounds like a movie soundtrack. Absence of Light is pretty cool. Vocals have some power to them. Don't care for the backing vocals on this song, and that happens a couple of times throughout this album. They just got like this weird kind of chanting, sort of backing vocals. I don't know. It just doesn't fit with these regular vocals for me so much. Um, So that was Absence of Light, right? A Fool's Paradise, good upbeat song. Uh, Rediscovery Part One. Oh, and that one I put at a star too. So that were my three favorites was Egypt, A Fool's Paradise, and the Bird Serpent War Cataclysm. But
Okay.
Rediscovery Part One and Two, 12-minute song reminds me of Dio on the vocals on this one. And it's a cool atmospheric intro to part one. Great musicianship, and then it's like my whole like summary of it is well, you're gonna ask at the end, but it's not my kind of metal that I collect or go out of my way to see live. But listening to it twice, it I did not mind at all listening to this. Like if it's metal, I like it. I hate rap music as long as there's no rapping in it going on,
Oh,
then I
yeah.
usually don't have any kind of problem with it. But yeah, so it's metal. It's great musicianship. I love I think the production. It's like that slick kind of production, but it's perfect for this kind of music and like a symphonic metal. You got to have that really good, solid production. They sound like a really tight band. At one point, I was like the first time I listened to it, the whole time I kept thinking like, who does this vocal remind me of? He doesn't sound the same in every song. He kind of switches it up. He's definitely got a lot of range. But every now and again, I'd be like trying to think, who the hell is he reminding me of? And then the second listening through it, I realized it reminds me of Jeff Scott Soto from the Marching Out era, the Yngwie Malmsteen album.
Yep.
That it finally like clicked to me. I'm like, okay, that little part right there, just in little parts. At other times, it reminds me of Dio, kind of like in the Rainbow era, like Dio. Maybe it's just like the phrasing he does, and he's a little more high pitched and stuff. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much my whole thing is I liked it. And if I was gonna, I think if I was to see this band live, it would be way more powerful. And then when you're seeing the guitar player do all that, you could just tell he's like shredding the whole time, and drummer's really working. So to see it live, I'm sure it'd be more powerful. If I was going to a show and they were opening, I would definitely make sure I got in for them. And if somebody gave me, a CD, I would like to have it in my collection. It's not the kind of music that I go out of my way for, but I definitely liked it. Glad I got
Okay.
a chance to like sit down and force myself to listen to two albums or the album twice. And I would check out some of their other stuff.
Okay, very cool. I can give you some other albums to listen to. You might like Iconoclast because that's a heavier album. That's later in their catalog. What else is Divine Wings of Tragedy? That's an earlier one, but that's still very heavy. There is a 20-minute song. I don't know how you are about long epics,
Hmm.
but there's quite a few. I'd say no bad albums by them, and I've seen them 8 times, and yes, they are very heavy on stage. So I think you would enjoy that.
And they're always like the headliner, right? They're
Yeah,
way
they
beyond the
usually
opening
play
bands,
smaller
maybe.
venues. Actually, I did see them open for Blind Guardian in New Jersey once. So other than that, they've done double shows. They did a double show with Iced Earth, which was awesome. I think you
Oh,
like Iced
hmm.
Earth, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yep. I
yeah.
recently just did an interview with Matt Barlow for my
Oh,
start on this
nice.
on the channel Almost Human. I'm a regular on the Almost Human channel, and we do Almost Human live on Thursday nights, and we've been getting some good interviews lately. And one of them recently was Matt Barlow,
I'll have to
but
check that out.
also rock fans.
Cool. Very nice.
Who
Okay,
else? Who
so
who else do you put that? Who else do you put them up there with? Like, for as far as like is Dream Theater a band that you put them up there with? Or
I
like I
would.
could picture them two touring together. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I think there is. I mean, that's me. Some people would shoot me for saying this, but I think they're
Hmm.
as good as Dream Theater. They just not as known, but yeah, they got the chops. I mean, Michael Romeo's an amazing guitar player. Michael Pinnell is a great keyboard player. Of course, Mike Lapon. He took out. He's like the second or third bass player, but great bass player. Jason Rulo on drums, and of course Russell Allen, who I love. On my channel, I do these 90-minute best of. I have this 90-minute best of series, and I have best ofs for
Yep.
Symphony X and for Russell Allen's solo project. So check those out if you're interested, or anybody out there. But okay, um, you said you liked it. You said you probably wouldn't buy it, but on a rating scale of 1 to 5 with half stars, what would you rate it?
Well, in the category, I would say it was great for what it is. Like if you're, like what I said, prog neoclassical, symphonic metal, then it's exactly what you would expect and hope for. In that category, I would say it's probably like a 4. But in my overall music category of like the kind of stuff I like, I'd probably go more like a 2.5 or so.
Oh,
But
wow.
I definitely, like, I'm not saying it like in a way that like I hate it. It's just like as far as I would buy, like if you see my music collection, I got thousands and thousands of albums, but I got way more underground kind of sounding stuff, and
Right.
it's just. But I like some of these kind of bands, but that's the whole symphonic metal is definitely like a genre I never really like fully like embraced. But when I hear it, I like it because it's metal. It's good musicianship. The drumming's kicking ass. The guitar player shreds, and everything sounds good. I can't. There's nothing I can complain about really. And maybe the chorus here and there that throws me off, but it's just like a vibe more than anything else that I guess for me that I don't connect with as much. But I definitely thought it was cool, and I enjoyed listening to it twice. So if a third time it maybe would pick up and just keep getting better and better. It's definitely memorable stuff.
Okay. Very cool. All right. So let's move on. So I don't know if anybody noticed over over Count Ralphus's left shoulder is an album called Coroner. Yes. So that was my homework assignment. So I'm going to adjust my background, and that is another album cover for Coroner. The and I'm just getting to my notes. Uh, by the way, I'm recording on a brand new laptop. I've been telling people forever that I was going to do that, but we're finally there. An HP. But anyway, the album is called Punishment for Decadence. The year is 1988. Now, little inside joke. So when Pete Pardo restarted the album homework assignment, he put us all together in a group on Messenger, and and I asked if anybody would be interested, and Count Ralphus chimed in, but he gave me something that was like very out there and crude, and for my birthday back in June, I had said, what should I listen to for my birthday? And Count Ralphus gave me this band that they were like shitting and farting. Who was that band?
That
Who
that
was
was
that?
actually Gutalax, and that's the band that I gave Jamie as a homework assignment. Like Rick Labonte gave me Spiritual Beggars, and then on the wheel I had to give Jamie an album, and I gave him Gutalax, and he
Oh,
he hated it, but it was funny. He said
I could.
I put that up as a joke with you. I didn't think you would actually like
Uh,
like it, but I thought you'd just laugh if you listened
well,
to it for a minute.
so I asked Ralph to just get a little serious in something that I had the opportunity to like. Now, I don't look like a metalhead like other people look like metalheads, but I got to tell you, I did like it. I think the fact of the matter is that it's more straightforward thrash, and there's no gimmickry really. There's just there's 10 songs. They're very heavy. I'll go through them one by one, but so we'll start with intro, 12 seconds. So I did not rate that. Normally, what I do is when I listen to an album for the very first time, I'll rate each song and then I'll take like an average. So we have Absorbed, 3 minutes, 43 seconds. So I said vocals can be mixed a little bit better, but musically excellent. I gave it 4.75 out of 5. I really like the very straightforward thrashy metal. So next one, Mask Jackal. Again, this is a favorite of mine. 4.75 out of 5. I liken this to maybe an early Iron Maiden vibe. Nice guitar leads by Tommy Barron, more prog metalish. Uh, whereas you said it was more prog thrash, I could see in this song where you would say that. So that was a
That was
favorite.
their big breakthrough song. They um
Oh,
they actually had
nice.
a video for they had a video for that on Headbangers Ball back in the day, and it was like the only time they really ever got played on Headbangers Ball. But they did play the video quite a few times, and it was a big one for them.
Cool. Okay, so next song, Arc Light. It's an instrumental. I gave this 5 out of 5. Uh, Kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you ever heard Glenn Tipton's solo album, Baptism of Fire. Glenn Tipton, lead guitarist of Judas
Baptism of
Priest.
Fire.
Yeah, he has his album
Yeah,
Baptism.
Baptism of Fire.
Right, yes. So this reminds me of that title track, Baptism of Fire, with some of the great leads he put out there. And, again, very heavy. Skeleton on Your Shoulder. Again, 4.75 out of 5. It starts acoustically, becomes more thrash, more of a frantic thrash. Vocals at the 2 minute mark, excellent riffs. Again, I thought the vocals could have been mixed better. You can't really hear his vocals as much. So if I had one critique, they could mix the vocals a little better. But uh, the fact that there's only three of them, it's really good. Okay, next, Sudden Fall, 4.25 out of 5, slightly above average thrash song. Shadow of a Lost Dream, I gave that 4.5. More early Iron Maiden vibe. Let's see, The New Breed, again 4.5. More nice riffage. Voyage to Eternity, gave it 5 out of 5. Great riffage and more straightforward metal leads. So that so those are my three favorites on the album. Masked Jackal, Arclight, and Voyage to Eternity. So you're not getting any really long songs on this album, but all very good. Uh, and then, of course, I was not expecting this. My first listen was in the car as I was driving. I was not expecting a cover of Purple Haze, the Jimi Hendrix pen tune. But I mean, it's good. I gave it 4 out of 5. Good, but I usually rate bands on their originals. That's just me. But I give this album 4.5 out of 5, and I would buy it. Yes.
Okay,
So there
awesome.
you have it.
The their very first album, this is their second album. Their first album called R.I.P. Straightforward like thrash. And then this was where they first started showing elements of being like a more progressive. But if
Right.
if you like this, I think you would really like the few albums that came out afterwards because production steps up after this. Like this, I agree the production's not perfect on this. If it had the same kind of slick production that the Symphony X and everything really popped out more, it would be pretty cool. I'd like to hear like a remastered version of this. But and his vocals, I thought that would be the one thing you were going to have a problem with, and I wasn't thinking more of as a production wise, but just like he's got this weird, desperate kind of like vocal style, and I like it a lot just because it's a little different. Thrash in the beginning, all the bands sounded different. They all had different vocal
What
styles.
it
They didn't
is I
have all
want to
sound the
hear his
same.
voice
So I
more.
think
Yeah.
it definitely I can hear like the production in general. Yeah, it gets kind of a little bit buried in the mix. With as a three piece, usually everything's a little clearer. But yeah, the vocals definitely seem a little buried. Um, this band they broke up originally in '96 and they reunited in 2011, but they have not put out an album in 32 years, and their brand new album is coming out October 17th. So it's been 32 years since last album, and they
I'll have to
disappeared for a
check it
long
out.
time, and they've just been playing for the last like 10 years. Yeah, they got one song you can check out right now, and it sounds great. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And they came to Middletown twice back in the day. They on this album, oh no, it wasn't this album, it's the next album, but they played a place in Middletown, a little bar, and they did an in-store at Rock Fantasy. They were touring with Creator at the time, and I
Oh,
got this in a frame. It's a corner like album flap for the album No More Color. That was like the next album, and they autographed it at the store. I got all three of them, and I got the roadie for them for the day and hang out with them. It was a really cool day. Just moving a few of their equipment things into the club, and we got it for
oh
free and
wow.
stuff. But then they played Middletown again. Like the next year, they came back and they were opening up for Nuclear Assault in a different club in Middletown. And so we got to see him twice right in Middletown, which is pretty cool.
That is very cool. And I've actually met the members of Symphony X a few times. When they last year they came to a place right near me called Mulcahy's. It's a bar restaurant just below the Wantor Long Island Railroad train station. And after the show, their tour bus was right out front, literally right under the train trestle, and they hung out with everybody, took pictures with everybody, signed autographs if you wanted them. It was so cool. But I noticed you're using a tankard. What is that? An Aussie tankard that you just drank from? Oh, nice British steel, even better. Oh, cool. Fucking A. Awesome. All right.
I thought you would like Judas Priest as well. But
Yes, I
yeah, they
do.
they hung out in Middletown, but they didn't like the corner band, but they didn't even speak English really.
Oh, wow.
They're from
Okay.
Switzerland. I think it was the first time United States, and I mean today they probably speak decent, but a lot of the bands back then when they first time to the States, you'd meet them, and I met a bunch of them where they didn't speak English, but you thought they would because their songs are in English and stuff. But
Right.
it's like they find somebody to help write the songs in English, and it's a weird
Right.
thing, But that's cool that you got to hang out with the Symphony X guys. It's great when you get to hang out with these bands that you're big fans of, but you meet them before they get too big and they're more
Yeah.
accessible. And it's something about the underground that makes it cooler. Like once a band gets so big, they're like unaccessible and you don't feel that connection as much with them. It's great that you can just walk up to them, get autographs and pictures. Back then, I didn't have a camera on me in the 80s, and no one had camera. I wish I had cameras all the time, like the way these kids now, every show they go to, they got all the memories right there. And I
Right.
wish it, because some of those memories from the 80s are just like a little window that you can picture of the show, and that's about it. A couple little snippets,
Right.
memories fades.
Well, all right then. This was a lot of fun. So, what about any shows that you've been doing? You want to talk about that quickly? Uh, like
Any
your
shows?
involvement
What?
as
Oh,
any other things you do on YouTube,
yeah,
like
just
for
Rock Fantasy Files is what I started on. I think I did one with you way back. That's the first time I ever did anything with you was on Rock Fantasy
right.
Files.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's another channel called Almost Human Live, and me and Tony Dio from now he's a regular on Hudson Valley, but we're both regulars every Thursday night live, and we do interviews and stuff. I know we're trying to get Graham Bonnet on an episode soon, hopefully, and it's been really cool. We did Neil Turbin from Anthrax recently and Zetro from Exodus. So we've been getting like some pretty cool guests. It's fun preparing and getting like questions ready for like these bands that you've been fan of for years and years.
Very cool. That's good. So everybody knows I have all or not according to Jack. My business card is right there. I don't really have any famous guests or haven't as of yet, but I could be building to that in the future. But my guests mainly are people from like Sea of Tranquility and My Music Corner and some other channels like Cretan's Classics, you know channels of that nature. But so please come check me out. All or not, according to Jack. Please go check out Count Ralfus at with Tony Dio on the what'd you say, Almost Human?
Yeah, Almost Human live every Thursday, but the channel is Almost Human. And
Okay,
guy Ralph Vieira, he's been doing it for a long time. He does these things called the Only News That Matters segments, and he puts them up
nice.
anytime there's like news and metal. He does like these slide shows, and he just talks over it, telling you whatever news is going on. But then once a week, he does a live show where people can like ask questions and stuff while we're doing it. Pretty cool.
Okay, very cool. All right, so this was a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. And uh, what does Pete say? Uh, come watch us all the damn time.
hit,
Is that what he says? I
hit
don't
like, go to
remember.
Instagram,
Yeah,
all the damn time. You
right,
know.
right, something like that. He's gonna shoot me for screwing that up. But all the damn time. Uh, Count Ralphus and Jack representing Sea of Tranquility. Thank you for watching and be good, everybody.